Dysphagia diet types are not widely known, but if your loved one needs one, then you'll sure be glad you watched this video. Come on, let's learn about the Level 6 diet. Hey guys, Jennifer here. Today we are cracking the code on the Level 6 soft and bite-sized diet. In this video, I will be going into a bit more detail about what a soft and bite-sized diet looks like and talk about specific foods that you will want to avoid. Stick with me until the end when I go over what I call the choking culprit. If you're new to my channel or haven't subscribed, click the button down below. This video is part 2 of the Dysphagia diet series. First, let me quickly run down how to prepare soft and bite-sized foods. Lump sizes, or basically how big the bite sizes should be, is about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, which is roughly the width of a standard fork. So you can see here, about this wide right here. If you want to know if the food you have prepared is soft enough, press down on the food with your fork. If you're able to mash the food using some pressure, and the food stays squashed even after lifting the fork, then you got it right. As you may remember from my first video of this series, canned fruits and veggies are perfect for a loved one needing this type of diet. Now, I'm not a marketer or promoter for crock pot, but I kind of wish I was, because it would be my go-to if I was cooking for someone needing this type of diet. Meats and veggies come out soft, and there is usually some type of sauce or gravy that come with most meals, and they're also so simple to make. You will also have leftovers for days. So I would recommend, if you don't already have a crock pot, getting one. And I will post a link in the description section below if you want to purchase one directly from here. So now let's go over foods to avoid if your loved one requires a soft and bite-sized diet. I will attach the international dysphagia diet information about this particular diet in the description section below. So let's start with mixed textures. This is going to include things like broth soups with pieces of food, like vegetable beef or chicken noodle, and cereal with milk. Or even just foods where the juice easily separates from the foods, like melons, watermelon in particular. These type of foods require advanced swallowing skills, and they should be avoided. Next are going to be hard, dry, tough, and fibrous foods. So these are going to be foods like nuts, raw vegetables, dry cakes, steak, and pineapple. These are a no-go because not only do they require a lot of chewing, they also require careful chewing because most can break apart and get lodged between the teeth and the cheeks, or can get stuck even further down in the throat. On the same hand, you will want to avoid foods that are crispy, like bacon and cornflakes, or crunchy, like raw carrots, apples, and popcorn. Chewy or gummy foods that easily can stick to your teeth or the roof of your mouth, such as candy, cheese chunks, marshmallows, dried fruits, nut butters, and gum, should not be given, since they are hard to move around the mouth and they will often get stuck in there for hours after eating. So let's say your loved one eats something and then goes and lays down. If that food is still stuck in their mouth, they have a good possibility of choking on it maybe after they get laid down. Do not give anything with seeds, pits, or foods with outer skins or shells, such as pumpkin seeds, the whites of oranges, peas, grapes, chicken skin, and sausage casing. Also, when serving chicken or fish, leave the bones behind. And be careful serving food that is known to have a lot of gristle. And be careful with stringy or floppy foods like beans, lettuce, cucumbers, and uncooked spinach, since they can be difficult to bite all the way through. Now let's go over what I have coined the choking culprit, which is bread. be very, very careful with bread. Bread tends to become very sticky during the chewing phase, and it can form a large pasty texture and get stuck at the back of the throat. I've had numerous patients report that bread just tends to get bigger and bigger the more they try to chew it, and so it often causes them to choke or cough when they then try to swallow it. If your loved one is a bread fiend, then I would recommend slightly toasting the bread or using wheat bread since it tends to be a little less sticky. Again, remember, if you're going to give them bread, make sure you pull it apart as you're able to make sure that it again is in small bites, just like you would any of the other food that you serve. And if possible, serve the bread with sauce or gravy or jelly, since that will help the bread slide down the throat more easily. What's important to remember as your loved one begins needing modifications to their diet is that no two people are alike. So it's going to be important that you watch them closely during their meals and to pay attention to foods that maybe take them a long time to chew or ones that cause them to cough or choke. And if they complain about specific textures or specific types of foods, either find foods that are close to the same thing or just leave them out altogether. Also, use sauces and gravies like they are going out of style. These not only make foods taste better, they also make them easier to slide down the throat. Okay, you all, so stay tuned for my next video on the Level 5 Minced and Moist diet, and remember to click the bell to be notified when it posts. Until next time, good luck cracking the code.